found your way into today, let's just gently anchor ourselves down. Just close our eyes, relax all the muscles in your face and your shoulders, and really just settle in. Just settle in and honor the fact that you have paused what is most likely a very busy day to give yourself these few minutes of awareness, of a little bit quieting of the mind, and with some really good focused attention on our breath. So just honor that by getting comfortable, noticing if you need to adjust along the way, and then adjust, and then settle in again. But truly make this practice yours. There is not a prescription or a set of expectations. You've shown up, and now it's your practice. So just honor that. And let's collectively bring ourselves into this space with just a few collective breaths. So just beginning to breathe in nice and slow and deep. And almost like a whisper, just gently exhale it out. And then a gentle, slow breath in. And again, almost like a whisper, just let it go. One more breath in together. And gently let it go. And in the same way that you've made your body comfortable, let the breath be at a pace that is comfortable for you. Find a little balance between the breath in and the breath out. And today's focus, we've been on this journey of all these mindful practices and how they really inform our daily lives. And today's focus is probably the most mindful of all the practices that we've got, and that is our breath. So we're going to use the breath as a tool today, a tool of awareness, a tool of clarity, and a tool that will take us to a place a little deeper, a little purer, a little quieter. And so I would just invite you to notice your breath. Where did you settle in? What does the breath feel like? Is it coming in and out of the nose? Is it coming through your mouth? What's the pace? And don't try to change it, don't judge it, just notice it. I've been studying a lot, well, for the last several years, but a whole lot in the last several months, the text of the Bhagavad Gita. And it translates to Song of the Lord. And this idea that all these practices of yoga and breath and meditation are all designed to bring us closer to our Creator. And maybe for some of us, we define that with different names, different images. But the fact is, we all have a Creator. We are here. And the path of yoga asks us to trust and believe that Creator is dwelling within us. There's a presence of divinity inside each of us. It informs our purpose. It informs how we see ourselves and how we see others. And eventually it begins to really inform the day-to-day activities of our life. And there's a quote from the 14th century, an ancient Indian poet, Kabir, and he says, "Student, tell me, what is God?" And the student says that he learned from his teacher, God is the breath inside the breath. And again, their word was God. Whatever word you hold close to your heart for the force that's responsible for the creation of you, you substitute that there, whatever way works for you. But just think about that idea. The divine force of God, the Creator, is the breath inside the breath. Just let that kind of sink in. Think about how quiet it must be. The breath inside the breath. And so we're going to do a breath meditation tonight. And I'm going to ask you just to find a spot to focus on. For some of you, you're going to want to pay attention to your chest. Just feel that rising and falling where you can feel the muscles moving. Feel the rib cage expanding and releasing. For others, maybe you want to pay attention to that sensation of breath at your nose. That you can just feel it kind of tickling on the nostrils right at the bridge as the breath comes in. And you can feel almost this little breeze as the breath goes out. And so just find one of those physical spots to pay attention to. Let it be your focus to help you stay anchored to this present moment. I'll give us some words for each breath in and each breath out. And as we get a little further along this practice today, I'll get quieter until we almost feel like the breath is just a whisper. And then we'll peer inside and see if we can see the breath within the breath, this divine force. And if the breath is in us, and this divine force is in the breath, well then, this divine force is within us too. So again, pick a spot to just really connect to pay attention to. The movement of your chest, the movement of your diaphragm, or maybe the movement of your nose and your nostrils. Keep your awareness there. And go ahead and take in one more breath on your own. And then let's take a deep breath in. So inhaling, I feel the breath coming in. Exhaling, I feel the breath going out. Inhaling, I feel the breath coming in. Exhaling, I feel the breath going out. And let's just sit with that feeling for just the next couple of seconds. Feel the sensation physically in your body. The breath coming in, the breath going out. And now let's move from that physical level, move to the mental level. Inhaling, I notice the breath coming in. Exhaling, I notice the breath going out. Inhaling, I notice the breath coming in. Exhaling, I notice the breath going out. And just continue to breathe and continue to notice that mental level, that thinking mind. Notice the breath. And then let's shift our awareness to that energetic level of us, to where our senses kind of sit, where we feel those little tingles in the cells. Breathing in, I sense the breath coming in. Breathing out, I sense the breath going out. Breathing in, I sense the breath coming in. Breathing out, I sense the breath going out. And then again, just continue to breathe and notice at the sensational level, at the energy level, right below the skin. Can you feel that breath moving? Touching all the spots that it needs to touch and nourish. Just pay attention. And then we'll shift awareness one more time. And I'd like you to take your awareness and plant it right there at heart center. Yes, you're still going to feel that physical awareness of what's going on in the body and in the nose. But take your mind's eye to your heart. Breathing in, I am the breath going in. Breathing out, I am the breath going out. Breathing in, I am the breath going in. Breathing out, I am the breath going out. Just see if you can feel and notice the sensation right there at your heart center The heart doesn't beat without the breath. It's not just a muscle. It's a force within you. Notice it. Notice how it's brought to life with the breath, how the breath just bathes it. Keeps you not only alive, but keeps you vibrant. And then I would invite you, just notice where your awareness goes for these next few breaths. Maybe it's the physical level, maybe it's the sensational level, the energetic, the mind. Just notice. As you breathe and listen to these words, just see where your attention goes. Breathing in, I feel the breath in the breath. Breathing out, I feel the breath in the breath. Breathing in, I feel the breath in the breath. Breathing out, I feel the breath in the breath. And again, let's just pause and notice where your attention went. And then even a little quieter. Going back to those words that Kabir said so many years ago in the 14th century. God is the breath in the breath. Breathing in. God is the breath in the breath. Breathing out. God is the breath in the breath. Breathing in, God is the breath in the breath. Breathing out, God is the breath in the breath. And then again, just pause and notice. Notice where your awareness goes. Notice how you feel. Oftentimes we think of breath as this involuntary reflex that the body just does. But our yoga and our meditation practice tell us something very different. It is this life-giving force that comes in and nourishes every part of us that needs nourishing. And it has this beautiful way of hanging on to the stuff that it needs and letting go of the stuff that it does not. And the stuff that we let go of is then breathed in by nature around us. And so it goes. It's not just an involuntary system or function. It is a life-giving force on this planet. And if we can believe those few words by this ancient poet from generations ago, we'll begin to see the breath on a whole nother level than just keeping our heart beating and allowing us to move throughout our day. Maybe we'll get to the point that every time we breathe in, we remember this divine force, this creator, is the breath within the breath. And the breath is in me. So I would invite you for these next few minutes as we grow quiet. You can just keep your hands where they are comfortably, or you can bring your hand to heart center if that feels good for you. But let's go back to that paying attention to this physiological movement of the breath through the nose, through the chest, moving the ribs, into the diaphragm, all the parts. And see if you can catch a glimpse of this divine light that is within you. We oftentimes see ourselves as broken and flawed. But maybe for these last few moments we have together, we can see the beauty. We can see the light. And we know it's there because we're breathing. If your hand is on your heart, you can gently let it come back and rest on your lap or on your desktop, wherever you are. If you've ever sat in an airplane and you've been next to someone or near someone that was really anxious, you heard that flight attendant encouraging them just to take some slow, deep breaths. If you've ever been around a school-age kiddo who is dysregulated and upset, the first thing that teacher does is they kneel down and remind them to take slow, deep breaths. And while both of these situations may just be reminding them that you gotta breathe slow, you gotta breathe deep to let the anxiousness, to let the dysregulation go, I believe that there's a deeper meaning of that. Because when we can get folks to breathe deeply and slowly and with intention, they're beginning to ignite this light within them. That's what calms the anxiety. That's what's lessening the dysregulation. It's not a biological process. It is a divine presence within us. The breath within the breath. And as we focus on it, our anxiety goes down, our regulation goes up, and our health is vibrant. Where is God? He asked the student. He is the breath within the breath. And then I would add, and the breath is within me. Namaste.